Okay, now we're going to divide. The way you divide is you multiply by the number 1. But the number 1 is a fancy number 1. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, let's look at our first example here. It says 2 minus 3i over 1 plus 7i. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to multiply by the number 1, but our number 1 is very fancy. We take the complex conjugate of the denominator, because what we want to happen in the denominator is to get rid of all the i's.
Okay.
We want it to just be a real number in the denominator, because that's what they consider division. Okay? So what is the complex conjugate of 1 plus 7i?
1 minus 7i.
Perfect. Now, it's not legal for me to multiply by 1 minus 7i, but it is legal for me to multiply by 1. So my numerator and my denominator are identical. Are you with me on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sweet. So let's do the top. Okay? You can use FOIL, you can use whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to go kind of long ways here. What's 2 times 1?
2.
2. Okay, what is 2 times negative 7i? It's negative 14i. What is negative 3 times 1? Negative 3. Oh, it's negative 3i, sorry. And negative 3i times 7i is
Negative
plus 21i squared, right?
Oh, yeah, because, yeah.
All right?
So that'd be negative 21.
It'd be like minus 21, right? And then if we did the bottom here, we already know that this is going to come out as a squared minus b squared, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So 1 times 1 is 1 minus
49.
I square.
Ah,
Okay?
okay.
So now I'm going to take my I squares into account. And I square equals what?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. And that way I can do some combining. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So my numerator becomes 2 minus, I'm going to go ahead and combine those, 17i. This becomes minus 21 all over 1. This is the same thing as a negative 49, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like plus 49. So let's see, negative 19 minus 17i all over 50 is what I got. So when you divide these two puppies, this is what you get for your final answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now typically I would take that for an answer and be totally fine with it. If they told you to put it into 2 parts, like what's your real part and what's your conjugate, or what's your imaginary part,
Then you would have
would-
negative 19 over 50 and negative 17i over 50.
correct. And that's if they want it to look like the a plus bi look.
Okay.
Okay, but typically this is totally fine.
Okay.
All
And
right?
does I have to be in the numerator? You could have it sent.
You could have it out to the side, you bet. You bet. It's just, you know, sometimes I put it out to the side. Most of the times I just throw it in the numerator. Okay? Let's do our last example there of the 5 plus 2i divided by the negative 3 minus 4i business.
Okay.
And then we got a little bit more to do, but it's not hard. Have you guys done physics? Are you doing
No.
that at all
No.
yet? Not yet? Okay.
Nope.
When you get there, you're going to get to things called vectors, and complex numbers work a lot like vectors. And that will help you with what we're doing now.
Okay.
It won't be numbers, but it translates really well. 5 plus 2i over negative 3 minus 4i. So what are we going to multiply by?
Minus 3 plus 4i.
Minus 3 plus
over
4i
minus
over
3.
minus 3 plus 4i.
Perfect. Remember that the one you want to take the conjugate of is always the denominator. It's the denominator that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
They don't care if there's i's in the numerator. They want to get only real numbers in the denominator. The way to do that is multiply by the conjugate.
They only want eyes in your head.
That's right. Only i's in your head. No i's in your bum. Alrighty. That's going well. So glad y'all could be here for this. Okay, a squared minus b squared. A squared is going to be what? 9 minus squared would be what? 16i squared? Does that look right? Okay, now we're going to do long way on the top. I'm going to do this with distributing. So 5 times negative 3 would be negative 15. 5 times the 4i would be plus 20i. 2i times negative 3 would be negative 6i. 2i times 4i would be 8i squared. And then we'll just go down here. Negative 15. What's that going to give me? 14i minus 8 9 plus 16, negative 15, no, let's go ahead and combine that. What does that look like? Negative 23 plus 14i, and that's all over 25?
Yep.
All right, and that would be correct. So that would be after division.